Hi, I'm Katie Rice, and I'm here at the Ooni Test Kitchen in Austin, Texas. And today I am making a gooey gingerbread skillet cookie. To make our cookie, I've got some all-purpose flour. I've got some granulated sugar divided here. I have 1 egg. I've got some molasses. I have some spices. So I have ginger, and I have cloves, and I have cinnamon, some vanilla, a little bit of kosher salt, some baking soda, unsalted butter, and then some crystallized ginger that is tossed in flour. Okay, so to mix up our cookie today, I've got my stand mixer. We'll be putting everything into an Ooni cast iron skillet, and we'll be cooking in our Ooni Volt 12, our electric oven. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is prepare my pan. So I've got about a tablespoon of butter here. This is gonna help our cookie be really crunchy and delicious on the edges, and it's gonna make sure that nothing sticks in there when we're finished baking. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside. And then I'm going to get our dry ingredients together. So I'm gonna combine our all-purpose flour. Let's get our little spices in there. Cloves, cinnamon. We got the important ginger for our gingerbread cookie. Some salt in there, baking soda. And then we are gonna give this a whisk. And I'm gonna set this aside while we get our wet ingredients together. I'm gonna take my bowl out of here and we are going to cream together our butter and sugar. So I'm gonna set this on about medium speed and let it run for 3-ish minutes. And we will look for something that gets light and fluffy, gets that butter and sugar really well incorporated. So I'm about halfway to light and fluffy, and I like to take a spatula around the bowl and make sure that everything's getting well incorporated. And then we're gonna head back at medium speed for another 1.5 minutes or so. And so the next thing we wanna do is add the remainder of our wet ingredients. So I've got some molasses here, I've got 1/3 cup, my egg, and then last but not least, I've got a little bit of vanilla. And then I'm going to put this on a medium speed and just get it all combined. Okay, so we have been mixing this together for about 1.5 minutes. And just like I did with the butter and sugar, I'm gonna get in there with my spatula and help the stand mixer a little bit. Making sure that everything that is at the very bottom of the bowl is getting incorporated. And then I'm just gonna give it 1 more minute. Okay, so everything is well combined in there, and we are going to grab all of our dry ingredients that we whisked together at the start of our process and add them in. Okay, so this is a time where you could get like a giant flower in your face. So we're gonna start really slow, let stuff get combined, and then turn the speed up a little bit. Okay, we are looking just about there. It's been just about 30 seconds. I'm gonna get in there again with my spatula and mix everything together a little bit. 1 more short go. And I think we're ready. We just have 1 more final thing to do before we're ready to put this cookie in the oven, and that is add our crystallized ginger. So I've got some crystallized ginger. It has been chopped up into these really delightful, craggy little pieces. And then I tossed it with just a teeny bit of flour. It just allows everything to kind of stay within the batter. This means that all of your crystallized ginger isn't gonna fall to the base of your cookie. And I wanna fold that in. I don't wanna use the paddle attachment. It can be a little harsh when you're trying to fold something in. Okay, so I've got my prepared pan here for our batter, and I've got my Ooni Volt that's been preheating. It's between 350 and 380-ish, which is great. That'll work perfect for us. So we're ready to take this cookie dough and put it in here. There's nothing fancy about it. We just wanna make sure that it all makes its way in there. I just wanna make sure that this is evenly distributed around my cookie. Another little trick I like to do is get a little bit of water on my fingers. That helps the dough from sticking to my hand, and that'll be the final thing I do to make sure that we're really even in here. Any of these indents are just gonna become like delicious cragginess in the oven. The final touch is a little bit of granulated sugar on the top. That's gonna make things crunchy and delicious. Now we're ready to get this cookie in the oven. So Volt has a really handy timer on it, which is awesome. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna set us to 10 minutes, and at 10 minutes-ish, I'm gonna turn this cookie around. So in Volt, this cookie goes in without anything on top of it, but if you're working in a Coda or any of our ovens that have that amazing rolling flame going over the top, putting a little bit of foil over it, just covering the whole thing in foil, will keep the top from getting burned. So we're cooking today in the Ooni Volt, but if you'd like to bake this at home in your conventional oven, you can just follow the exact same steps. We wanna cook at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and that cookie can go in there without any foil or anything on top. All right, so our cookie has been in there for about 10 minutes, and we just wanna turn it 180 degrees so that it gets golden and delicious on all sides. and get back in the oven for about 10 or maybe 15 minutes. Okay, so our cookie has been in there for another 10 minutes. I wanna take a look and see if we're finished cooking or if we need a few more minutes in there. Ooh, we are in XXL puffy territory. We can see that around the rim, we're starting to get cooked. I'm seeing that this still looks a little wet and shiny, and if I do this, it still feels wobbly. So I'm gonna put the cookie back in for another 5 minutes and then take a look. Okay, so our cookie has been in the oven for another 5 minutes and is looking ready to go. This looks delicious. Things are craggy and delicious looking. We've got some sugar on top. Though I want to eat it right now, I'm gonna let it rest for about 10-ish minutes. That will give me a warm, delicious cookie to have with some ice cream. So our cookie has been resting for about 10 minutes and is still warm, but is just about ready for a big scoop of ice cream. So when I'm serving this for a party, I like to bring it out with a really big, impressive scoop and then serve it in pie slices for everyone. Look at that. I'm gonna get in there with a pie server. We've got this gooey, delicious, yummy gingerbread cookie that's just on the right side of done. And let's give it a try. It's got a nice crunchy outside and a really moist and tender inside. It's great for a holiday feast or just any time. For recipes like this and more, head over to ooni.com.